Not long ago, my husband and I had a big blow up over a series of misunderstandings. Today, I'm going to share a very personal process that allowed unconditional love to return to the heart of our home.
Welcome to this episode of Create and Connect Brilliantly with holistic coach and certified master trainer of emotional freedom techniques, Betsy Muller.
Relationships can be messy and complicated, add stress, and it can become explosive. My husband George and I have been married 35 plus years, and for the most part, enjoy very open and positive communication. Around the time of the launch of my book, The Comeback, in late 2019, I was under more stress than usual, and George, being a very private person, he didn't enjoy all the attention being drawn to his brain injury and recovery. On the day following our big book launch party, George went in for what we thought would be a routine cardiac catheterization. And to our surprise, a narrow artery was found, requiring a stent and an overnight hospitalization. Neither one of us expected it, and that's where things got complicated. I suddenly found myself overcome and triggered by this news, the monitors, the medical surroundings. George became a rebellious patient who was barely out of the OR, pulling at his IV, trying to get dressed to go home. I was terrified for his safety, and he was yelling at me for being so concerned. He told me to go home, and so I did. I was so mad. I told him to call an Uber for a ride home when he was released. My time at home without him gave me a chance to cool down and find the perspective needed. I tapped on my fears and feelings, and I prayed to receive guidance. I was hurting, and he probably was too. As I prayed, I asked, George, what is it like to be you? What are you feeling? And a stream of answers came down to me, and I wrote them down. And these responses reflected the fear, uncertainty, and even anger surrounding his situation and his lack of control over the events of the past 2 weeks. I felt it. I felt the intensity of it. Next, I took a few minutes to make a list of the many things I was experiencing, including feelings of being afraid for his health and being unappreciated and disrespected. I also wrote down what I needed from him. I eventually decided to summarize these things in a letter, including a list of what I perceived he was feeling. In it, I asked him to change anything I had written about his feelings that was incorrect. When he eventually returned home, and yes, I did pick him up from the hospital, but it was a kind of quiet ride. I gave him the letter, and then I left to run an errand. What happened next? Well, when I returned home, he tearfully hugged me and said my perceptions were correct. He apologized for dismissing my feelings and promised to be more appreciative and respectful. The letter had helped to clear the air, and from that point on, we were both kinder to one another. I received more of what I needed, and he felt understood too. Maybe this kind of letter could help you reconnect with someone after a misunderstanding. Your feelings are truth, and it helps to clarify the truth from both sides. Putting yourself in the shoes of another person gives love a chance to take center stage again. I love helping my clients strengthen important relationships, and if you are curious about how EFT and Energy Makeover Coaching can help you, send me a note through my contact page. Let's create something brilliant together.
Thank you for watching Create and Connect Brilliantly. For more great information, visit createandconnectbrilliantly.com.